Hello, my ashes. I hope you're all well, all doing good. It is extremely late at night, and I am extremely tired, but my emotions are just overwhelming me at the moment, and this is why I made this channel. So I want to talk about it. I decided to put my camera on, I'm going to talk about it. Losing someone you love to suicide. And this is the most negative you get about it, because you're sad, you miss that person so very very much, but now you start to think, what were you to that person? What did you mean to that person? Did he even think about you before he did the deed? And you start to think plenty of things, many of things. You remember stuff, and you remember it so fondly, but you think, what were you to that person? Did he love you? He, she, did they love you? Did they love you as much as you loved them? And it's not about as much, it's just, did they even care about you? Because in your mind you think to yourself, they left you. They left you here alone, and you weren't enough for them to stay here. And it makes you so extremely sad, because you don't know. You know you had great times, you know you had good times, you know you had a connection to that person. But it makes me very, very sad. It truly does. And your mind goes to dark, dark places, because that person means so much to you. And you just sit and wonder, what was I to that person? Because you think and you think and you think, okay. And then you go start to think and you get the answers, and you're like, why didn't he reach out? And in my case, he tried to, he sent a please call me, and I was asleep. So that's something that eats at me. And his mom started contacting me again about at the beginning of the year, which is a roller coaster ride for me, because she confuses me a lot. And you must understand, I was just his friend, they're his family, and it's like a competition whose grief is the biggest, and I don't want to compete. This was her child, for goodness sake. She gave life to that boy, man, which turned into a man, and this was her child. She'll never recover of this, but neither am I. And she wants to talk to somebody. Actually, she should talk to somebody that can actually help her, like a professional, and comfort her in that way, because I don't have the strength to lift her up. I can barely lift myself up. And yes, it was not my child, but it was a person that meant the world to me. I'm talking in circles now. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Um, but this is the kind of stuff I want to put out there. These are the moments I want to share with you guys. This is the torture that you go through if you lose someone due to suicide, because it wasn't an accident. It was that person's choice. That person felt so alone and so helpless, and yet you were there. And you start to wonder, what did they think about you? Why? I talked to him at 7 o'clock that night. I talked to him and I told him, listen, are you going to come here tomorrow? He was working night shift. I told him he can come and sleep in my bed. Please come tomorrow, because I wanted to talk to him. I could hear something was not right. And he said, yeah, he'll come tomorrow. He'll come tomorrow. And then I get a WhatsApp from his mother saying he's not coming tomorrow. And she states that the please call me was to tell me he's not coming tomorrow, but she already told me that before I went to bed. I don't know. She said he didn't want anything to do with any friends. And then I think to myself, was he mad at me? I don't know what I did wrong. Was I part of the reason why he did what he did? And your mind is going in circles. It's insane, the thoughts that go through your head. And you just get so angry and so sad and so confused. It's exhausting. It truly is exhausting. And you don't even, if he was angry at me, why was he angry at me? I don't know. I truly don't know. I really tried to reach out to him. It was such a confusing few days, because it was just confusing as hell. And there's stuff I can't disclose. Although he was over 21, just over 21, I don't want to disclose it due to respect for him and due to respect for his family. But there was other factors at play, and that also boggles me, and I can't talk about it. And I just don't know. I don't know what to do with all these emotions. It's like I said before 1,000 times. I'm probably gonna say again 1,000 times. It's a year since then. His service was on the 28th of January 2017, and it's been a year, and it's still the same circles. It just goes around and around and around and around. It's like a never-ending story. It truly is, and I can tell you, it's life-altering. It changes you forever. Every interaction you have with a person, it changes you. Actually, since the first death I've been through, which was my grandmama, it changed you. But now even more, because every interaction you have with a person is this going to be the last one? um like I stated in a previous video, it's a good thing as well, because now I tell my dad and my mom I love them, because you never know when it's the last time. And in life you truly never know when it's the last time you're going to see somebody. But he was so young, and like I said, it wasn't a car crash, it wasn't an illness, it was his own decision, and it's bad. And you just wonder, why couldn't you have impacted his life more positively so he had a reason to stay? And it's so tiring. I know I'm talking in circles again, but these are the things that go through your mind. You just, it's replay the whole time. I think this is now what they call a grief wave, which one I do not know. But there is no circle. There is no, you get this, you get this, you get this, and then there's um, finally acceptance. No, no, that is so wrong. That is the wrongest wrong you can get about grief. I don't know. Maybe if it's a natural death, or someone was old, maybe, because this wasn't as hard with my grandmother, my grandfather, because I knew it was coming. I knew they were old, they were sick. I knew, although it was still heartbreaking, it was still so sad. And I remember when my grandmama passed away, I went into the hospital. I went to my grandpa, and he just showed me like this and he cried. And I told him it's gonna be okay. She pulled through a million other times. It's gonna be okay. And meanwhile, he was telling me she's gone. And I remember when I walked out of that hospital that morning, everything just looked different. I can't explain to you. It just looked different. It was empty. It was, and that is exactly how that night. As soon as that phone rang and I answered it, and his mother yelled in my ear that this had happened, the first thing I remember asking her was, "Is he still alive?" And she told me, "I don't know." And I called his colleague and I said, and all he could say was, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Nina. I'm sorry. I'm so." And I knew. And I just threw the phone down on the floor and I ran to my brother. And I told him, and he was, I remember that face of his, I will never forget it as long as I live. He was so shocked. And he was always there for me during that time. And still, even now, he asks my mom every single day, "How am I doing?" And it's brought us together, but yet it's a loss that nobody can take his place. I've tried replacing him several times. Although I'm not a people person, I made a new friend. It ended in disaster because I'm not a people person and the connection wasn't there. I tried with the boyfriend, very, very close after his death. I went into this relationship. He knew him. We actually sort of met through him, but it wasn't supposed to end up like this. Oh, it's just a confusing hell of a story. I wish my life was less confusing, I swear, but this was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. It was just I was looking for things to fill the gap, and the gap is unfillable. The gap is unfillable. It's just it's unfillable. So I just wanted to give you this piece of confusion, just so you can have a moment of my mind's thoughts in a very low state. Um, Please, people, if you're depressed, talk to your friends and your family. Tell them how you feel. Don't feel they'll judge you. They won't judge you. Even if you consider suicide, tell them you have a problem. Help me. Don't leave them like this. Don't leave them wondering how you felt about them. Don't leave them with an empty hole. Please speak up. And I guarantee you they will help you. There's no shame in this. There's no shame in this. They will help you. And they will be grateful that you told them. They will be so grateful that they could save you and help you, and that you're still going to be in their lives. If he would have said to me that night when I talked to him, he is so very depressed and he needs help, he's thinking about suicide, I would have gone to him that night and I would have stayed with him the whole night through. That I promise you. That is one of the things my brother said to me. He said, "You know what, Nina, if he had asked for your help, would you have declined him?" And I said, "No, I would have gone to him." And he said, "Exactly. But he didn't ask." And the police called me, he talked to me a lot about that, but I still feel I did miss it. I can't go back. I can't change it. Even though I want to, I can't. But indeed, that was my emotions, and I think it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm alone, and I'm just thinking in circles. Thanks for watching, guys. Um, Take care. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever it is when you're watching this video. And please, guys, if you're depressed, talk to somebody, talk to family, call a line. Just don't just keep it to yourself. Tell somebody you are loved, you are needed. Don't think otherwise. You are special, you are beautiful, you are all things good. We're all a little good and bad. We need the bad side to complement the good side. So don't think you're all bad. I'm out. Bye.